Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Only Football.
Yo, 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 yo.
We're going to be going over our Week 14 predictions with some
13.
segments. 13, my bad. I'm already thinking about the Chiefs-Broncos games already tormenting me from Week 14. We're in Week 13. So we're going to be going over our segments. We're going to introduce some new stuff and then some of the stuff that you guys liked, like Bless, Text, and Stressed is going to be coming your way. It's going to be a really fun episode.
Oh, yeah, man. It's going to be great. And let's start it off with our Week 13 recap. Now, it's going to be, like Kyle said, a little bit weird just because we do have a new segment, and it's going to be towards the end of the Week 13 recap. Or I'm sorry, not Week 13 recap. It's going to be Week 13 predictions.
Yeah.
Let me actually see. You got me all messed up.
It's backwards today, bro.
What the hell, dude? What the hell? Yep. So week 13 predictions. It's gonna be like we said, it's gonna be a little weird just because we're gonna go over a few less games than we usually do because we've got something on the back end to kind of treat you guys with. So as always, let's start off with our week 13 predictions. We're gonna save Thursday night football for later. Broncos, first game we're gonna go over Broncos at Ravens. Kyle, these are your Broncos. They're going into Baltimore. What are you thinking on this game?
Well, they have kind of the theme has been lose. So I'm predicting a loss. And I'm also predicting that since I've always predicted a win, that maybe I'm the problem. So maybe if I predict them to lose, they'll actually win. I don't know, man. I do know that the Ravens have not been playing very good complementary football. The offense has seemed stale. I had concerns with the 3 points going into the fourth quarter against the Panthers. Credit the Panthers defense, but still it was concerning because the Broncos had 3 points going into the fourth quarter within that Panthers game. So, I mean, are the Ravens offense better than the Broncos? I'd hope so. So, yeah, definitely had some concerns. And then the Jacksonville game, just not able to really get the job done. They looked like Jacksonville was the better team that day. It wasn't like a fluke. I mean, if you watched the game, there was a lot of back and forth in the fourth quarter. We talked about it, but by the end of the game, the better team won. And that's kind of what's concerning. Even if Jacksonville has made improvements from the team that was, below average. I know they started the season high, but then they kind of came back to reality. They lost like 5 in a row, including one of Denver's only 3 wins. So, I mean, I understand Jacksonville may be trending up and getting better, but Jacksonville getting better, I feel like the bar should still be underneath the Ravens. So I'm kind of trying to put this together. I don't think the Ravens are playing very good football right now. And a lot of their losses, and we talked about this in the beginning, they've been on the road. I mean, at home, which is totally crazy. They're a good home team, but they haven't been playing good at home.
Yeah.
I predict the Ravens to pull it out against a really bad Broncos team, but I expect it to be close. And that's just kind of what this defense does, with the exception of last week. They play close games against really good teams, and this will be another close loss.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Ravens in this one just because. And look, neither team is impressed at all. The Broncos pretty much all season. The Ravens in the last 2 weeks have not impressed whatsoever offensively, even defensively, really. We talked about on our recap what that defense set up 275-yard touchdown drives to Trevor Lawrence. So the best part of this game is going to be the Broncos defense because they're probably the most exciting thing to happen in this game. So I'm predicting a very low scoring game for the Ravens and the Broncos. I mean, obviously, but I think I'm taking the Ravens in this one too. Like I got to take them to win. The Broncos have not shown me anything. The fact that they were, they lost against the Jaguars last week. Like it's bad. It's a bad look. Russ Wilson on the sideline yelling, or not yelling, but getting yelled at by one of his defensive players. Like everybody's kind of sick of it. There was reports of him of Sierra throwing him a birthday party and about half the team showing up. You know what I mean? Like that's your star quarterback and half the team shows up. That's kind of a bad look. It's looking like Broncos country, let's cry against the Ravens, as we've said before.
Well, Sierra, it's Sierra's fault, bro. I didn't want to put her on blast, but her last tweet, she's like, it's like BDM,
Mhm.
it's the closest porn as you can get without it being porn. And it's like, and we wonder why Russ can't remember the plays on Sunday. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna need a little wrist thing or whatever, the
yeah,
armband or whatever. Next game we're gonna go over one of the oldest rivalries in football. We have got the Green Bay Packers in Chicago to take on the Bears. Kyle, I almost don't want to ask because I know who you're gonna go with, but go ahead.
well, this I mean this game could open up another conversation that we could have maybe at a later time, because it would
Hmm.
probably take about 10 minutes to really get into it, and that is
Hmm.
Aaron Rodgers. Should he play? Should he
Yep.
not play? The Packers season's over, but do you want to know what's going on with Jordan Love? Let's just set all of that garbage aside for a
Hmm.
second and just think, if Aaron Rodgers plays, I'm going to go Packers. If he doesn't play, I thought Jordan Love looked really, really good on
Yeah.
Sunday when he stepped in. He's been taking a lot of the first team reps with Rodgers nursing the finger injury and everything else going on. So Jordan Love looked a lot better. And this goes back to that conversation that we've always had on this show where we talk about Jimmy Garoppolo. These backups of legendary quarterbacks always
Yep.
seem to figure it out because they learn how to walk like that, throw like that, and see what they see. They just have a really good mentor. And I think Jordan Love last year, he looked like he was like, not ready at all to step
Yeah.
into the shoes of the next great quarterback. He came in Sunday night and he looked like Aaron Rodgers looked when he
Hmm.
first stepped in for Brett Favre. Not
Hmm.
saying that he will become that, but I say if you go with Jordan Love, I like that more than what I saw from the Bears last week. The Bears looked really bad,
Yep.
losing by a lot of points to a Jets team. I'm going to go with the Packers at home, Lambeau. Oh, actually, it's in Chicago.
In
Um,
Chicago.
and I'll say that I'll shed 3 points, but I'm still going Packers.
Yeah, I figured. And you said the Bears looked bad. They looked terrible with Simeon back there under center. I don't know. Again, we talk about Aaron Rodgers keeping him out. You mentioned like what they should they see what they have in Jordan Love, and he did look good in that last game. Uh, but now the other, Fields out. I say we do. I'm okay with taking another loss to the Packers this year just because I know Justin Fields is our quarterback for the future and next year. I'm totally okay with keeping Fields on the sideline. Let's just throw either Nathan Peterman or Trevor Siemian out there. We saw what Siemian did. I mean, I don't really care at this point. Let's throw Nathan Peterman, see what we got in that, right?
You don't got anything on that.
Yeah, but I mean, Siemian he looked terrible against Jets, but I will give credit to the Jets defense, like I have.
And I got to mention, because nobody really can say this, but that's my brother's high school quarterback, Nathan Peterman, in
Oh wow, there
Jacksonville,
you go,
Florida. Yeah, so
there you go,
such a
roots.
funny, unique thing that we're like having
Yeah,
this conversation about him.
yeah. And look, I'm a homer, so I'm taking the Bears at home.
You
I
have
don't
to.
know if they have a chance. Whether or not Justin Fields plays, I don't care. Whether or not Aaron Rodgers plays, I don't care. This defense is rough. Darnell Mooney's out for the season. Eddie Jackson's out for the season. It's a lost season for the Bears. I just hope they win one or two more games.
And
So yeah,
Fields is day to day, a week and a half after sustaining
yep.
that injury. So he said he's feeling better. So we'll
Hmm.
see what the Bears end up doing. Matt Eberflus did say that he wants to see Justin Fields continue to progress this year. So
Exactly. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And hopefully the passing game progresses with him, in that line. But let's move on to our next game. We've got the Tennessee Titans going into Philly, taking on the Eagles. The Eagles coming off a win, Titans coming off a loss. Kyle, who you got in this game and why?
this is a sneaky game. I'm going to go with the Eagles, but not by much. Tennessee is an extremely well running football team on the road
Yep.
specifically. I think about them going into Kansas City and taking it to overtime with no quarterback. So
Hmm.
um, I I'm gonna go Eagles, but this is as low of confidence as you could have on a team.
Really?
I can totally see a scenario where Tennessee wants to get the loss out of their mouth. They run the football really well against an Eagles team where
Hmm.
that is the recipe to beat them. Now you saw their
Hmm.
defensive line take a lot of hits
Hmm.
and lose a lot of key pieces on the defense. So if they can just run the ball, control the clock, I think they could get the job done on the road against an Eagles team that just played on Sunday night.
Okay,
Mm,
yeah, and I kind of agree. I'm also taking the Eagles in this one, but I think it's going to be a closer game. I've said it before. The Titans play different when they play the Bengals, but I also said that a lot of teams play different when they play the Titans, and I think this is going to be one of those games, right? Um, the Eagles obviously lost to the Commanders. They took a win against what was it, Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah, because they took a win against Green Bay. It was kind of close. So I don't know. I just their defense has looked a little bit shoddy in these last couple of weeks. So I think Derrick Henry might run all over the Eagles defense. Although, again, I think it's going to be close, but I'm still taking the Eagles to win. Jalen Hurts, like you said, is your MVP of the season this week. I think he's going to do more than enough to get it done. But I think it's going to be like a late fourth quarter touchdown for the Titans in this game. And they're going to try to onside. They're going to try some sneaky stuff. They're not going to be able to get it done. And again, I'm taking the Eagles to win this one.
Yeah, totally. And it's weird that the Titans really feel like a Colts team that's just a little bit better in
Yeah.
every position, like a little bit better at
Yeah.
quarterback, a little bit better at running back. So,
Yep. Those were the morning games or the early afternoon games, depending where you're at. Let's move into the middle day games, I guess I'll call it. We got Seahawks at Rams. Rams look like just a defeated team. The Seahawks did take a loss last week. Kyle, who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks to bounce back. The Rams are just not playing really good. Geno Smith's obviously, even though he is a little overhyped, and I know what the numbers say, I'm going to go with the Seahawks because the Rams are going with the guy that just came off a 2 interception game in his first start ever in the NFL. He's going to be taking the reins for the rest of the season, as per Sean McVay. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to go with the Seahawks to get the job done. Not really much that you can do if you're the Rams. You can't run the ball. You don't have protection to throw the ball. The defense might hang around and keep it a lower scoring game, but I'm still taking the Seahawks to win something like 23-17.
Okay, yeah, I like it, and I'm taking the Seahawks too. You don't really like Geno Smith, but you got to look at the numbers. He's doing well. Obviously, they took the loss, like you said. Bounce back game against the Rams, which would say this season after they just won the Super Bowl last year. But a lot of teams are taking on the Rams and gaining that confidence because they just suck this year, man. It's just nothing to look forward to. Like you said, they're on their third string quarterback. They just lost Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp to injury. Their best rusher is on another team. I think I mentioned during our recap of week 12. There's nothing to look forward to in this team. The Seahawks should have an easy game, but the way the season's gone, who knows what easy actually is. So we both got the Seahawks in this one. Next game up, we have an AFC West showdown. We have got the Chargers going to Vegas, taking on the Raiders. The Raiders have looked good. The Chargers have lost some heartbreakers, but they've still looked good. Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to take the Raiders. The
Mm.
Raiders are on it's a win streak. They beat
Yep.
Denver and then they won last week in Seattle. And that's a road win. So now it kind of feels like they're kind of having their homecoming. The fans are going to appreciate their return. It's been 2 weeks on the road straight. So I'm
Yep.
expecting a home crowd to be really into it. A team that had nothing to be happy about. You go down a little win streak like that. You kind of celebrate these small victories, and everybody in the AFC West wants to beat each other. The fans are going to be really into it. And the Chargers, more importantly, the Chargers losing to or barely winning feels like a loss because an Arizona team
Yeah.
was not very good, and the Chargers kind of fiddled around with them, and it seemed like it took everything in their power to pull that win off and go with that 2-point conversion. I just don't think that is a recipe to be able to sustain long term. I'm gonna go with the Raiders to run the ball with Josh Jacobs. They're being really effective with that. And then if you come up and stop Devontae Adams, the number 3 wide receiver in the NFL, the Raiders are kind of starting to get it going, I think.
Yeah, I agree, but I do have to disagree on the pick. I'm taking the Chargers actually in this one, and the Raiders have looked bad, and recently they've looked better. Yes, but I don't know. I think against the division rival, some teams that they play really tough against, I don't think the Chargers are going to back down just because they're in Vegas, just because the Raiders have done better. Yes, what they do is risky the way they play going for it on fourth down with these 2-point conversions, but they're they're getting it done somehow, right? So they're winning in ways that a lot of we don't like to see a lot of NFL teams win. And you look at the Vikings, they're 9-2, 8-2, something like that, and there's a lot of close games, and then they've been blown out. So I think this is just kind of the Chargers' way to do it. They either go for it all and win, or go for it all and lose. I think in this one, they're going to go for it all and take a dub in Vegas. So I'm taking the Chargers in this one. Next game up, we've got Monday Night Football, Saints at Bucks. The Bucks coming off probably one of the worst losses, I think, this year, after they kind of started coming back and everybody was like, oh, watch out for the Bucks. They're coming, they're getting that second win, I guess you would call it, against the, oh God, where is it? I just had it. I lost it. Who did they lose against?
They lost to the Cleveland
Browns. The Browns. Yes, the Browns. That's who it was. So who are you taking? Monday Night Football, Saints in Tampa against the Bucks.
I'm gonna go with the Saints, and I for whatever reason, the Saints have had Tom Brady's number. I mean, it's been bad. I don't know if Tom Brady's even beat the Saints. I saw some crazy stat. I know the Saints shut him out last year.
Yeah,
and they don't necessarily need to be good. It's just Mike Evans lined up against Lattimore. They get in a lot of fights. I think last time that's when he got suspended because he ended up getting in a fight with him. But
that's right. Yeah, because that guy is a pest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he does, for what it's worth. And I'm on Team Mike Adams. I mean, I got him on my fantasy team. But Lattimore wins those duels. He does a pretty good job of shutting him down. I kind of feel like at this point the Saints are in the heads of Tampa a little bit. I'm expecting Tampa to want to win this game though, and I am expecting Tom Brady to maybe watch a little extra film this week. Tom Brady's not a guy where if you tell me you beat him the last 2 times, almost every time I would say it's harder to win that third game. It's like the playoffs. You see sometimes a game happens on week 17, and then the first round of the playoffs is that same game. It's happened a couple of times, and it's almost like you feel like if you're the team that lost, you have the advantage because it's hard to beat a team back to back. Actually, I just kind of changed my own mind. I'm going to go with Tampa in a nail biter.
You're going to go Bucks?
Yeah.
I agree, and as you were saying that too, I was like, oh, okay. I think he's like saying the right things for a Bucks pick, and I feel better about my pick because I'm going Bucks too. I think they're looking at this with Tom Brady, like you mentioned, right? He's looking at the standings. He's like, man, the only reason we're first right now is because we have one less win than the Falcons, and I think they're going to take this, and that's going to be the fuel for Tom Brady and this defense. This team really to kind of move forward and get this NFC South title like ASAP. Like I think they're going to try to go on a run here, and that's what it's going to be against the Saints. I told myself I wouldn't pick against the Saints, but I picked against the Saints last week with the 49ers, and I came out with the dub. So I think that is broken for me at this point. The seal
trust issues.
Yeah, the seal is broken. It'll probably be, I'll probably have trust issues again with this one, but I'm taking the Bucks and Tom Brady to win. I really don't. I don't know. I just don't have any sort of, I guess, regrets with this pick. But yeah, that is those are our predictions right now. And as it stands, we were talking about our record before the show. Right now, Kyle and I, overall record after week 12, we are 65-33, 65-33, about 60%. I love it. and the
Better than
standings
Vegas.
better than Vegas, and the standings between you and I are close. You are 27 and 26, and I am 26 and 27. I'm one game behind you. This is getting close, and we
It
haven't
is.
come up with a punishment
Mm.
for the end of the season yet, but we will. Also, I did want to clarify: we're not going into the playoffs with this, right? It's just regular season.
I say we bring it into the playoffs.
All right, so Super Bowl, everything, divisional, wild card.
Yeah, we should have. We'll do a special segment where we do our whole tree, right?
Oh, okay, like the bracket. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
we'll
that.
do a whole bracket. It'll be awesome.
Okay, I like it. I like it. All right. So those were our picks. That was our record. Now let's move in to our brand new segment. It's more of a sub segment here with our picks. Unfortunately, I don't have the sound. I'm sorry. We were gonna download a sound to kind of introduce the segment, and we will next week. But this segment is called "I'm Rich, bitch."
Little scrappy.
Little scrappy. And basically what this is we're gonna basically kind of take some games, the games that we didn't talk about during our predictions, and give you a betting more. This is gonna be more betting centric. So I'm
Yeah.
Rich, bitch. We got four little sub segments in between this: best spread, underdog of the week, don't touch it, and the bet of the week. So we're gonna give you all those in these segments. And let's start off with the best spread of the week.
You
Kyle?
want me to do a little quick breakdown of what each means really quick?
Yep, let's do a quick breakdown with Kyle.
If you're new to this, even though this is, I guess, a betting perspective on the games, it's super easy to understand if you understand predictions. So I'm going to give one example, the Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals, okay? It says negative 1.5 on the spread. That means if you click that, that means you think Kansas City will win by more than 1.5 points. If I were to click it for Cincinnati, it means they could win the game and you would win, or they could lose the game, but they can't lose by more than 1.5 points. So this is a very close spread. You might as well just, if you were going to pick the spread, go with the actual straight up pick. What is the straight up pick? That's the money line. So anytime we're talking about the money line, that means throw away the over-under the points, throw away the spread. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. That's your money line. That's a straight-up pick, old-school betting. And your over-under is a combination of how many points an opponent scores and you score. You add them up. That's the over-under. I'll give you one example on that. The worst over-under, I think, for this week is, this isn't the one I'm using, so I can use it here, is the Kansas City or the Las Vegas game, right? They're playing the Chargers. They have 50 points on the books. So they think both teams will score about 25 points. I think both teams could score 40 each. So that is a good example of a time you would say over. Okay. That's the quick and dirty. And if you have any more questions, just put it in the comments.
And, good thing you mentioned the comments. If you guys are joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, don't be afraid to comment to us, whether it be from our predictions, the I'm Rich Bitch segment, or, later on, we're going to be talking about blessed, stressed, or blessed, text, or stressed. So let us know in the comments what you're thinking of here on Only Football, brought to you by Star 6 Media. So let's get into it. I'm Rich Bitch. Let's start off with our first segment here, best spread. Kyle, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Sounds good. So the best spread, I think, on this week's slate, and we didn't talk about it, is going to be Thursday Night Football, Bills at Patriots. I'm taking the Bills at negative 3.5.
Okay.
Look, and this team, this game, right? Bills and Patriots. Patriots have a really good defense. Really good defense. The Bills just beat the Lions by 3, 28-25 in the Turkey game. The Bills have been a little careless with the ball, Josh Allen, specifically. Coupled with a good defense on the New England side, it's going to be a closer game than I think a lot of people are thinking. And yes, it's the Patriots. Their offense is terrible. But I think with that defense is like so good that Mac Jones might have a chance against this Bills team. I don't think they're going to win by any means, but I think the Bills are going to win, and I think they take it by more than 3 points. So that's my best spread of the week. I'm taking the
Wow.
Bills -3.5, and that is going to be for a -110. Which, by the way, we are using that the -110, the plus whatever, as I guess like a marker for us to keep in season to see who's been doing better.
Yeah. And I would say the only thing I don't love about that is that New England did look a lot better against Minnesota. And even though they didn't get the
Mm-hmm.
win, you
Mm-hmm.
saw Mac Jones starting to air it out and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And that
Yeah.
Buffalo game against the Lions, the spread on that was 10 points. They were supposed to win by more than 10, and
Yep.
they did not cover that, as we know, last second field goal. That is, I think, exactly where the spread should be. But I could see why,
Okay.
with a high powered offense, why
Mm-hmm.
you'd go with that pick. For me, I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know that on paper,
Yeah.
Dallas becoming one of the best teams in the NFL, literally before our
Yep.
eyes, the spread is 11 points. So I look at this Colts team and I see that they're getting back to playing aggressive, physical, running football. And their defense, a lot of people don't realize this, best passing defense in the NFL.
Oh
So
wow.
Schultz and CD Lamb, I'm
Mm-hmm.
expecting them to be locked up. I still think CD Lamb's, going to have a day. I'm going to start
Yeah.
him this week, but you do have to keep in mind a really good pass defense, the ability to run the football. And remember, they almost beat Philly. They're kind of a sneaky, difficult team. I got Cowboys winning this game. Is it going to happen by more than 11 points? I'm not sold on that.
Hmm. So then, are you taking the Cowboys or are you taking the
I'm
Colts
taking the Colts plus 11. So the Colts
+11?
Colts can lose, but they can't lose by more than 11. So if the final score is 20-30, I win.
All right. And what's the minus or a plus on that?
That's minus 110.
Oh, -110. Sorry.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. So I've got the Bills for the best spread against the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. You got the Colts and Cowboys Sunday Night Football. So we kind of went into that, and yeah, like you said, the Colts looked. You said that they're the best run defense, or they were one of the best run defense, or did you say that about
The
the Cowboys?
best. The Colts are the best pass defense in the NFL right now.
Okay, and that And I could see why you went with that against the Cowboys offense. It does do that, but I mean, you got Tony Pollard, you got Ezekiel Elliott there too. That can be their defense, and it opens up the passing game by quite a bit too. And to be honest, now that Dalton Schultz has kind of arrived for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott, you might see some dumps to the tight end coming over the middle, something like that. It might really make that game very exciting. I think for Cowboys fans, I still I can see them winning by more than 11. Just because of the inexperience with Jeff Saturday and how they looked just this past week for Monday Night Football against the oh my god,
The Steelers.
we just was it yes, against the Steelers. But all right, let's move on to underdog of the week, and I'm going with the Dolphins at the 49ers. They are, oh man, what is the line again here? Let me pull it up.
It's
Where,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah. I
they're
have I
plus
had
4.
yeah, I had the same underdog.
Yeah, so yeah, let's talk about this game. Dolphins at 49ers. I don't know why they're the underdog. I don't get it. With how high powered their offense has been with Tua and Mike McDaniels there. I'm going to give respect to the 49ers defense, but their offense for the most part isn't really that great. So the fact that they're underdogs, and especially in a game last week where they only managed 13 points, 16 points, something like that.
Yeah.
Against a pretty solid Dolphins defense and a very, very good offense. I don't know why they're underdogs. That's why I'm taking them as my underdog of the week, and I'm taking them to win it by more than 4 points, I think it
Yeah.
is. Yep.
And I guess the status quo for home field advantage used to always be 3 points. I don't know if that's changed.
Mm-hmm.
On the spread, they got Miami plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nearly even, but I think that home field advantage is kind of what's like taken I guess, taking it over for San Francisco. But
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm looking at a Miami team that is just very powerful. They
Hmm.
have a solid running game. They play really good defense, and this is not going to be an easy game. San Francisco is a tough team, and there's a reason they're favored to win
Yep.
because they haven't lost since acquiring CMC, and they didn't give up a single point last week. So this is a perfect December test for the Dolphins.
Hmm.
This is kind of like this is a good measuring stick game for the Dolphins, and I think they're going to show up to it. I think the Dolphins play extremely loose under um, uh,
Pressure.
what's his name? No, the head coach.
Oh, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. I think they play really loose under him. He's like giving them the freedom to just go out there and be the playmakers that they are. And I think they're going to go out there. They're going to be loose. They're going to make a little bit more plays than the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree. And again, no disrespect to the 49ers, but I mean, they are at San Francisco, and I can see, I guess, why they're underdogs. But I mean, Jesus, I, I almost think they should be the favorite. But that is what it is.
That's what you want, though. You
Yeah,
want
that's
that.
true. That's true. That is what you want. Next one we got is don't touch it. Don't touch this bet. Don't even look at it. Don't be near it. Don't think about it. My don't touch it bet is going to be the Jets Vikings.
Wow.
I don't like anything about this. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like the the spread is 3 points. I don't know. Over unders 44.5. I don't know what I don't like about this, because which Jets team are you going to get? Are you going to get the Jets team that scored 31 points on the Bears, or are you going to get the Jets team, with Mike White, who has done really well with his career in the Jets? Or are you going to get the team that could barely score 10 points the week before against the Patriots? Like, which team are you going to get? Yes, Mike White is in, Zach Wilson is out, and I don't know if there's been anything from Salah saying 100% Mike White's going to be the quarterback. But then you look on the other side and you got Kirk Cousins, you've got this really good offense, but they've been blown out twice. And also they've let up a lot of points. That defense lets up a lot of points, but they've also been pretty decent in like big situations. So really, which teams are you going to get in this game? And that's why I don't like the over under. I don't like any part of the spread in this one. So for me, the Jets Vikings, don't touch that.
I'm gonna just caveat that I do think that the Jets stock is really high because of that game against Mike White, but I do think Minnesota at home is going to win, and I think you almost there's I know you said don't touch it, but the other side of that is you could take advantage of the Vikings money line being so low, only minus 155. This game may not be close, in my opinion. 3-point spread. I think the Vikings win by more than 3. You could take them on the money line and the spread. I don't think the Jets with Mike White, it's one thing to do it, right? It's another thing to repeat it. And I think at this point, the Vikings have repeated their domination with that receiver. You know what I'm talking about? It's just, I don't know. I could see where you're
yeah,
Jefferson.
Garrett Wilson.
No, Justin Jefferson.
I thought you said Jets.
And I could see where you're coming from. Mine is, and I wasn't trying to talk you out of it either.
Yeah.
I just really think the Vikings are going to handle this game. I'm going to go with the Commanders and Giants, because who are the Giants? Now we can have this conversation, because it was one thing when they were 7-2 and you predict the fall. It's like, I see what they're doing, but I almost think it reminded me a lot of Josh McDaniels' first year in Denver. We started 6-0 and we finished the year 8-8. It's just sometimes a team just gets away with a couple, and the Giants, when they played Seattle and got their ass kicked, you just kind of knew. You're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And I think this Commanders team, the defense, man, they have been playing really solid lately. They're getting Chase Young at full speed, and I don't know what to make of this game, because the Commanders, they're favored to win the game, but the Giants are at home, And it
Yeah.
seems like at any point they won't, I don't think they'll become a 7-2 team again, but they could become a team good enough to beat a Commanders team that almost lost to Atlanta. If it weren't for a
Mhm.
tip ball, they would have lost that game. And if they
Yeah.
would have lost that game, I think this money line would be exactly swapped. And they lost because of a tip ball. I don't know what to make of this game. I wouldn't go
Mhm.
near it. I wouldn't go near it either way.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree with you there because I look at the Commanders Giants and I look at Saquon Barkley is the offense for the Giants, and that defensive front for the Washington Commanders is that's their defense. So that's really kind of like the only two things in this game that are worth watching. I forget what game I was talking about earlier where it was like this is the only exciting thing. The Broncos defense was the only exciting thing about that game, right? These two things are the only two exciting things about this game on both teams. Heineke, yes, emotional leader, a guy who is 5-1 now as a starter this year. All great things. You're correct. This game is probably going to be like, which team are we getting as well, right? Are we going to get 7-2 Giants? Or are we going to get the Giants that have looked like garbage these last couple of weeks? And then on the Commander side, is this going to be just all defense and like Heineke throwing a couple picks and maybe throwing a touchdown and Brian Robinson running? Is it actually Antonio Gibson? Like there's so many things up in the air,
So
but
many questions about
so
it.
many questions about this game. And it like you said, I probably don't touch it either. Yeah, I would agree with you. Don't touch it. Next segment we have is our bet of the week. So bet of the week, we're going to end each I'm rich bitch segment with bet of the week. Mine for this week is going to be Bengals Chiefs. And I'm going to say bet the over, which is 53 points. Bet the over in this game. I'm loving offenses on both of these teams. I'm loving Joe Burrow, what he's done with Pirine and with well, who's your boy T Higgins, right?
Higgins,
Last
yep.
week. I'm liking that he's able to spread the ball around and he doesn't necessarily need Mixon and Jamar Chase to be on this team to win, and he's still putting up 30 plus points every game with these guys injured.
And
On the
Chase will be back too.
and there you go. Chase is going to be back. And then on the flip side, you got the Chiefs who are just dominant offensively. Patrick Mahomes again is my MVP of the NFL this year again, right? Like he's gonna get MVP again. And what he's done without Tyreek Hill, without a really solid, or I guess not solid, but yeah, I guess I would say a real solid running game. I mean, you got Pacheco there kind of taking over the reins, but what he's been able to do with the passing game with Kelsey and Pacheco and whatever's going on with the defense, right? Like it's just good. And I'm telling you guys to take the over on the Bengals Chiefs, 53 points, and it is at a minus 110. Kyle, you've got quite a bit of games for your bet of the week.
Yeah, I'm looking at Kansas City ranked 16th in points per game that they give up, and Cincinnati's at 13. And remember that Buffalo Kansas City game people thought was going to be like in the 40s. I think the final score is 20 to like 23 or 17 to 20,
something like that.
something like that.
It was in the
So
20s.
yeah, but I could totally take that over. I really think you're right about that. Even though it may not be 40s, I think that's kind of low. It seems right. I'm gonna go with a parlay.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay. So mine's a parlay. So, I got Cleveland as my first. Okay. So Cleveland is playing against the Houston Texans, but I like the money line on it. Or I'm sorry, not the money line. The points. The reason why is because they're 7-point favorites, and I think this is the Super Bowl for Houston this week.
Yeah.
They get a chance to get in the head of Deshaun Watson. I saw 10 of the sexual assault victims are going to be attending the game.
I saw that too.
I don't know why they would want to go. That's a whole nother thing, but I think it could become a factor. And Deshaun Watson hasn't played football in 700 days. So, I mean, we saw him in the preseason, did not look good against Jacksonville. And he's supposed to just come out and, be his old self. I don't know. It might take a couple games, and Houston's going to want this game really bad. So I am taking Cleveland to get the win, but by less than 7. So a nice, close, tight game.
All right. Yeah, I could see. I don't know. I don't know if the Texans are going to take it. I think the Browns are definitely going to take it. I think Deshaun Watson, even with 2 years of not playing football, pretty much. I still think he's better than the Texans on any. I just with the way they played. I said it last episode on our recap. Texans just don't look like an NFL team. The Browns look like a much more. But they just look like a better team in general. So I think I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. But what's your next game?
Yeah. Well, I am going Browns, but not by more than 7. So just to
Oh,
sure.
okay. I thought you said Texans. Sorry.
No. I'm taking the points. I'm taking Houston.
Yeah.
They can lose, but not by more than 7. My next one is Buffalo -4. I told you, you talked about it too. I think Buffalo has a really explosive offense, and like these are a combination of things that have a very high possibility of happening, in my opinion. And this is also on the list. The next one, Detroit. Now, when I set this bet, Detroit was +100 home underdogs. Since then, the lines have evened out. It is what it is. But Detroit was not favored to beat Jacksonville. Now it's even, but that's still good for you if you're parlaying. So go ahead and take Detroit at home after winning 3 of their last 4 and playing a hell of a game against Buffalo. And Atlanta at home, they should have won on like that tip ball. Atlanta has won, I think, 4 of their last 5 home games, including a 14-point victory over San Francisco. Yeah. They are a better team when they play at home. And Pittsburgh is, I don't think they win 2 in a row ever this season. It seems like they lose one, they win one. They lose another one, they win one. They lose one, they win one. I just don't know if Pittsburgh comes into Atlanta and gets to win. Atlanta, home underdog. I like the home dogs. And my last one is going to be Miami straight up. Now, the series of events, 5 total things, $25 bet. This odds are plus 3,909. So $25 wins you $1,000. So that's my bet of the week. I like the algorithm.
Sorry.
Plus 3,909.
Oh my God. That's a good one. Yeah, the Steelers Falcons. Oh man, the Steelers played a really good game on Monday Night Football against Colts, and not like really, really good. Like Pickett still looked like a game manager in this one, but hey, that's better than anything a lot of these other second-year quarterbacks are doing, right? And he's doing it in his rookie year.
Yeah.
Najee Harris obviously scored. They're down a couple running backs, but I could definitely see them going into Atlanta and just honestly like shitting the bed, because the Falcons probably a better offense, not necessarily a better defense, but I don't think you really need a good or great defense to really beat the Steelers. And then the other game, what was the other game that you had talked about? I think the Lions and Jaguars. Jaguars obviously coming off a win after their bye, but I'm taking the Lions in this. They're scoring a lot of points. They're looking better as the season kind of goes on, right? They're 4-7, if I'm not mistaken, on the year. And they just look better. You know, I talked about Dan Campbell securing his job for next year, and that's exactly what he's going to do. I don't think he's going to make the same mistake that the Broncos defense kind of did against these Jaguars. So I'm taking the Lions for sure in this one. And then, yeah, I think that's all the games. It's all the games we've gone over. Bitch.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is that the whole idea is to have a parlay put together where the odds are really high, but you can clearly see a path to that happening. Like, if you wanted, for context, on the Houston Cleveland game, if you picked Houston and bet $200 on it, that's what you would have to do to get the same payout, basically. That it's still $300 less, but no one thinks Houston's going to win. So what you do is, you know, what I'll always be trying to provide to the podcast is a bet that has really good odds in the payout, but also you can realistically see a path to all of those things happening. So yeah, I just wanted to like clarify that. I mean, I understand that there's a chance that Houston loses by more than 7, but the goal is to find high odds and somewhat of a path, right? We're still trying to stay realistic with it.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm kind of new to betting too. So I these terms and everything, like I did have to ask Kyle a lot, because I really just don't bet. But this is a great way to kind of just like make awesome content for you guys for the betting side of Only Football listeners, and we hope you enjoy it. We're going to keep doing that every week. We're going to keep score not only of our record kind of straight up just picking teams, but as well with whatever betting picks we make as well. But yeah, that was the new segment. I'm Rich, bitch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, that was kind of, and like Kyle said, he's gonna, as we go along, as we move forward, we're gonna kind of explain what everything is, just kind of educate you guys as well on the betting life that a lot of you guys and Kyle loves to do. So, what was the one idea that you had for a t-shirt, or not idea, but like, was the one thing that you say?
Oh, the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna make t-shirts that say "I don't gamble," and I was explaining how when you play slots and you're playing
Yeah.
cards, like it's so easy to have trust issues in these machines. You know what I mean? You're like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
but it feels like with football, there's enough variables with like, offensive rank, defense against the run. Is it a running football team? What's the weather going to be like? Are they
Mm-hmm.
on a win streak? Who are their head
Mm-hmm.
coaches? Like you factor all of this stuff in and you make an educated guess.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes, like we talked about today, we really do have a better idea than some of the bookkeepers because first off, we're at 65, 66%, and the professionals are at 55. And the second thing is, and we may have a bad week, that's normal, but I
Oh
mean
yeah.
some of those things like the over on the
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City game, the Dolphins beating the 49ers, like these are all things that Vegas is just as confident as we are, basically. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And you get a chance to prove them wrong and make a little extra money if you parlay it. The whole goal is to make the odds super high because I'm not a rich person, but
What?
if you make that's why we don't have our own studio yet. But if you do bet $5, right, and you could get a
Mm-hmm.
$300 payout, you know what I mean? And all you got to do is not pick up your Starbucks once a week or something, whatever
Hey,
you got
why
to do
not?
to cut that $5. Take a chance. You never know what's going to happen. And if you love watching football, it just spices it up the same way fantasy football does. All of a sudden, that Commanders game's really exciting when it's the last game on a 7-leg parlay to pay out $2,000. You're like, oh, the fucking Giants game's on. I'm gonna watch the Giants game.
Dude,
Yeah,
honestly, and look, like I just said, I don't bet. I don't really plan on really getting into betting, like just because I think my luck is terrible. But it's true. It's just like I not only Kyle but other guys who bet, like it makes not only football, like you said, a Commanders whatever game, it makes it that much exciting. But like basketball, it makes like NCAA basketball, it makes like two schools that you've never ever heard of a much more exciting thing. But hey, always gamble responsibly, right? Bet responsibly.
yeah,
Don't get crazy.
for sure. I was actually gonna do the disclaimer before we started, just because it's a real thing that exists. So
Yeah.
in Washington State, the number always bet responsibly. But if you know
Mm-hmm.
somebody or you yourself have a problem, the hotline number is 1-800-547-6133. Just want to throw that out there. It's the right thing to do. Some people do,
Nice, nice.
need that number.
Oh, oh yeah, and I've been to casinos and I'm like, that person needs the number badly. So let's move on to our final segment of the show, and this is a segment we introduced during the Thanksgiving week, but we thought why not make it a monthly segment. It's called Blessed, Text, or Stressed. Me and Kyle, if this is the first time you're hearing of this segment, me and Kyle basically say, hey, you are this coach, you are this GM, you are this player, and then we give three more names. And are you blessed to have this person? Do you kind of text this person? Or you just meh with that person as a text? Or does that other person just like, which person stresses you out and you don't want to have any sort of contact or any sort of communication with them? So we started in Thanksgiving. We're going to make it a monthly thing.
Do you want to
Um,
keep the theme that we're throwing a dinner party?
Yeah, well, I think we could do that. Yeah, and honestly, like we could keep the theme of Thanksgiving the entire year because it's kind of like, who would you be blessed to have at your table? Who would you send a Thanksgiving text to? And who stresses you out so much that you don't want to, you just don't want them to be in your life at that point. So yeah, we'll keep it with the theme there. Kyle, do you want to go? Yeah, Kyle, you go first since I went first for the I'm rich bitch.
All right. St. Brown.
Who?
St. Brown.
Oh, Amon Ra.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
doing Bears.
Oh, okay. Equanimous. Okay, got
That's
it.
what I thought. Yeah, that's like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna even try to say that name. Just we're doing Bears. Say the other one.
All right.
Roquan Smith. I know he's not a Bear, but a lot of love for Chicago and Justin Fields.
So I'm the Bears. I'm just the Bears.
Yeah, you are. Well, I guess you would be the Uberflu.
Eberflus. Okay, so I'm the head coach. Blessed, Texas Stress, Equanimous, St. Brown, Fields, or Roquan Smith. Blessed to have Justin Fields. Hurt, anything. I don't care. I'm just blessed to have that guy. Who wouldn't want to have that guy as a head coach, your first year coaching a team? Who wouldn't want to have Justin Fields, right? So I'm 100% blessed to have Justin Fields. I'm texting Roquan just because he's not on the team anymore. I love what he did. You know, it's kind of like a, hey, thanks for participating. Thanks for all you did.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. But I'm stressed out for Equanimous St. Brown. And look, he's done all right. You know, he's been there for some good plays, but you look at, oh God, what I forget, was it the Lions? I forget what game it was, when it was a 4th down and he dropped a pass that hit his hands. Like it was chest level and he just stuck his hands on it and just dropped. So I'm going with blessed to have Justin. Texting Roquan, stressed out about Equanimous. I can't see him back this year. So that's who I've got for blessed, text, or stressed. All right. Next up, you are Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns.
Okay.
Blessed, text, or stressed, Nick Chubb, Jacoby Brissett, Amari Cooper.
Okay.
It's a good one. I think I gave you
a good one. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Obviously, I'm blessed to have Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a top 3 running back in the NFL.
Easily, yeah. And the only running back I have on my fantasy team that actually does anything.
So we got to invite him over and talk about that.
100%.
I'm gonna go. Amari Cooper gets a text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cause I mean, see, no.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go with Jacoby Brissett because for him to come into the most dysfunctional scenario that exists in the entire NFL and be like, yeah, I'll be your starter for. It's like, I know you're just using me. I'm okay with it. You know, like it's like letting somebody know, like, hey, are you cool if I like date you for a little bit, but just, you know, once I find someone better, I'm gonna leave you. I just need a little while to rebound.
Yeah, it's like cuffing season, right? Like you want it, you like right around October time frame, you want to have a nice little girlfriend or boyfriend to kind of get you through the holidays, through the cold nights, and then once like February comes around and starts to get warm,
break up before Valentine's Day.
You don't want Valentine's Day. You just exactly, and then you want to head into summer single and ready to mingle. So I could see that.
Yeah, that's such a good example. And then I guess I'm stressed out about Amari Cooper, and the only thing stressful about him, I guess, is he had a drop last week. There's not much that I could be stressed out about. I guess I'm stressed that he might find out I texted and I'm blessed. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I don't think you're ready. I really don't.
I think I'm ready.
All right. You are you.
Oh my God, I am.
You are you. Yeah. In this analogy, could you imagine someone just tuning in right now? Like, you are you. You. Oh my God, you're right.
What are these guys talking about?
Dude, he's breaking through live. Okay, so you are Rick, and you are either blessed, stressed, or you're gonna text. Said that
Yep.
right. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh God.
It's Bears week. It's Bears
It is.
Packers
It's
week.
Bears Packers week. You're right.
Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Bart Starr.
Oh my God. You may as well shoot me in the head because I'm not answering this no, I'm just kidding. Oh man.
I said you weren't ready. I said you weren't
That's a
ready.
good one. I was not ready for this one. So Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Oof. Damn.
Yeah, you go with the
Here's the
California
thing.
kid.
And here's the thing. I'm going to be Jesus Christ. This is impossible to answer as a Bears fan.
You're gonna have to turn in your fan card after this.
I think I am. I think I don't want to answer that just because of that. I'm blessed to have Bart Starr.
I knew it.
Because I'm gonna have the dead body of Bart Starr because I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Wow, what a twist!
And that's fine. That's fine. I'll dig up his body, bring him to Thanksgiving dinner, and just be like, let's say a blessing for the Starr family because we have him here in our presence. I'm going to text. Man, I think I'm going to text Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to text Aaron Rodgers and be like, how about that Justin Fields? You know what I mean? Like, happy Thanksgiving. How about Justin Fields, huh? So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. And then stressed out about Brett Favre just because of all the shady stuff he's been doing with the school, right? Something about the school, something about
yeah. Mississippi State. He stole like thousands or $1 million from
something like that. Like they
were upgrading the volleyball court.
And I'm stressed for him. But I'm stressing out about him and his situation.
Apparently he stole it from like the lowest of lowest people, people that rely on the government, people in poverty. Yeah, that's super messed up. I kind of in my head when I wrote it down, I knew what order this was gonna go. Yeah. But I still had to make you say it. And while you're texting Aaron Rodgers, make sure to tell him happy birthday because Friday, December 2nd, is his birthday. Right around
I will never wish him a happy birthday.
I said text him happy birthday.
And I will never wish him that. Aaron Rodgers, if you're listening to this by the whatever chances you are listening to this.
Oh, he will now. I'll make sure
I hope you never have a happy birthday ever again. And I'm sticking to that 100%.
What if he became a Bears fan?
That's impossible. You know, he wouldn't be able to do that. He would not be able to do that. Just as in his own good conscience, he wouldn't be able to do that. So, all right.
That was I've got
a good one for you. I got one more for you. You are, it's going to be hilarious. You are Walmart. Blessed, text, or stressed.
Are you talking about Rob Walton? Or like an actual Walmart?
You are a physical Walmart. No.
Oh, okay.
Russell Wilson, Nathaniel Hackett, and the defense. Go.
I'm blessed to have the defense.
See? Now I want you on record saying this.
I'm stressed to have Russell Wilson. Because Russell Wilson is a big problem right now. Nathaniel Hackett, we can fire tomorrow and just move on. Russell Wilson we're stuck with him.
Yep.
Like he's not going anywhere. I'm gonna text Nathaniel Hackett. I'm blessed to have one of the highest defenses in the NFL.
Yep.
And I'm stressed out that Russell Wilson is my quarterback. What? November 30th. 2 months. You know what's weird is like we're like,
oh my god, this is so great. This is what you get for putting the Packers quarterbacks on me. That's what you get.
You know what's weird is that we're like, wow, so much has changed in just 1 year. But what we don't even realize is that it's not been a year. It's been almost 3 months.
Yeah, it really has.
Like that is insane. Like 3 months ago, I was like wanting to throw a party because Russell Wilson was our quarterback.
You were
And
so happy
now,
about that extension too.
yeah, now I don't know how to get rid of him. I'm like, what are we going to
Here's actually one thing I wanted to mention because I saw it earlier either today or yesterday. I have found somebody cringier than Russell Wilson.
Oh,
And I
no.
didn't
You
I didn't think
didn't.
it was possible. And it's The Rock. The Rock posted a video. Did you see this? I don't know if you saw this.
No.
He posted a video of him going into a store that he used to shoplift from
Oh,
as he was a
yes.
kid. It was like
I
a
heard.
grocery store, right? And he went in there and he bought every single candy bar for the store to give away. And he was like he's on this like video talking about how I went in here as a kid and I stole candy bars and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, what is this? What am I watching? The Rock, you are such a cringe dude for doing that. The same people probably don't work there. The same owner is gone, long gone. He's probably dead.
Yeah,
Like
they're
that's such a
dude.
lame thing for you to do.
They're like, dude, have you ever thought that you should just like maybe give the guy money? You know, like what if somebody else wants to buy a Snickers?
Yeah. What
Like,
if tomorrow some kid who wasn't able to go to the store that day wanted a candy bar? Now they're all gone. The
yeah.
Rock, you ruined that kid's
Yeah.
day.
Son, The Rock came in. He shoplifted so many times that he had to come back and buy all of them. And by the way, I can tell you that because it's not a secret. He recorded it and posted it on purpose.
This is like Russell Wilson posting that intro video of him walking into the game and in slow motion and being like,
Oh
what was
my
the
God,
caption?
dude.
What was the caption? It was like something like
Attitude, gratitude, blessed.
Yeah, something like that. Like
motivation is a way of life. Like it's always like this, like super cringe.
So stupid. And we just talked about how he had a birthday party. Only half the team showed up. Like you have got to be at that point as a fan, as just like a fan of football, being like, we are definitely being punked by Russ right now, right? Like this 5'10", fucking no sex having ass, like God. This has got to be like the cringiest thing ever. But I mean, I found The Rock and I was like, wow, that was way worse somehow.
By far the worst. Hold on, worst quarterback that we've ever had.
Kyle's putting something on here. He had to take his headphones off. The Bears flag is still all screwed up in the background, like usual. If you guys notice, if you guys are watching on this live stream, all the jerseys in the background have the names, except for the Russell Wilson one. You can see the names on all those except the Russell Wilson jersey. That's hilarious. Oh no, he's got scissors. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it on live stream?
If we don't win one more game this season,
no,
I will cut this jersey on camera.
You heard it here first on the live stream for Only Football. Kyle is going to cut up this jersey. He's going to film a video of him throwing it in a fire pit and being like, "You suck, bro," just like all the other people fans have done before.
Dude, it makes me so sad though. I'm not sad about Russell Wilson. Like I'm sad that this is my life now. And you made a really good point about that house thing. Where did you hear about that? His guest?
I think it was like a tweet or something. And look, I don't know how true that is because none of us were there, and the team, half the team was there. But I mean, I feel like that's pretty solid. Like that's a pretty solid assumption.
Is that a good turnout though? Half the team? It seems like a good turnout, right?
I mean,
these people have kids and families. It's not like everyone's like, let's go to Russ's house.
These kids, I mean, these guys also have nannies for their kids too. I mean, they're millionaires, right?
That's
like
true.
You got to think about it, right? Like, and you would think for your franchise quarterback, pretty much, right? Like you'd show up for that. You'd show up for that party.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting some reaction. Yeah. I feel you. I don't want to do it either, but it's just, it needs to happen. And there's literally this is the last thing I'll say about this. There's entire podcasts this week being literally designed around the cap and figuring out how we could get rid of Russ. Like it's like an hour-long episode about this is our cap hit. we would lose 30 million in this, and then
Mhm.
basically there's no scenario where he's not a Bronco next year without taking a
Mhm.
massive cap hit. But the year
Mhm.
after that, if we did trade him, so
Mhm.
if we traded him, we would lose all of our money, not be able to sign anybody. And if we tanked that year, then
Mhm.
we'd probably have like a first overall pick in 2024. And that is like the way you would restart. But it feels like a rebuild all of a sudden. We were just about to win the Super Bowl in September.
Yep. Yep. My
I can't
wife
believe it.
my wife said about the jersey, we can make it a bonfire event.
And
I'm down. I'm
throw
down.
her
I'm
Jets
down.
jerseys in there.
Oh, 100%. I told her, I was like, there's no Jet stuff in this house
You got to
ever.
get the house divided, like Matt, or the
Oh my
flag house
god. Oh
divided Jets.
god. Oh, I did want to on
Jets, Jets.
Jets Bears Bears Bears. I wanted to on this point on my wife and not yet. She says not yet. Yeah, right. She said she was gonna be a Browns fan next year. I'm like, you can't do this to troll me. What are you doing?
Oh, you
But
know
I'm
when Browns fans aren't Browns fans.
even even they don't like being Browns fans. On this point though, if you guys have kept up with either on Here Only Football or Big League Chicago, the bet I made was last week the Bears Jets game. The Jets won. The bet I made was if the Jets beat the Bears, that my wife would pick my lineup, and
Ooh.
we're gonna be doing that tonight. I'm gonna be making some content off that, so that should be hilarious. Just because I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know what my lineup's going to be for tomorrow, whether it's going to be good or not. But I told her, Kyle had said like, make the lineup, but you never said you'd play it, right? I gotta do it. I gotta play it. I gotta play it.
Oh,
And here she
man.
goes. She's putting a trophy emoji. Hey, if she
Just
picks a
rubbing it
winner, I'm
in.
gonna stick with the winner. But I'm gonna make a nice little video, some video content for you guys
I
on
will
that.
I will tell the people that right now, there's only one person that
Mhm.
is, the roster is projected over 120 points, and it's me at 130, and everyone else is at 117, and it's you right now at 125. So, your
Oh my
lineup
god.
right now is
Oh my god.
actually as good as it could be.
Mhm.
So, what you should have done is you should have I think she's listening. She
She's 100% seeing this, yep,
you
and
should have
listening.
took some people out,
I
and
should
then
have.
she would have changed it, but hopefully put the pieces
Here's
back.
here's the yeah, yeah. And here's the thing though, I made sure the waiver wire pickups, any pickups that from this point on are like good. They're better than anything I could imagine. So I'm like trying my best. So we'll see what she picks. I'm not
She's
so part of this is gonna be like I can't react on any of her picks. Oh no. Oh no, she said she's picking them based off zodiacs. Oh
Oh,
no.
what does that even mean? How? We're gonna have to break that down on your content tonight.
Oh
I wanna
god.
know, is it based on their birthdays or
It's based on
alphabetically?
birthdays. Based on
Based on
birthdays.
birthdays. Are they
Zodiac
all
sign,
gonna
yep.
be what sign are they all gonna be?
Oh god.
Can
That means we're gonna have to look up birthdays, zodiacs. This is gonna be an event in itself.
Yeah.
You guys stay tuned for that content. We'll probably release it tomorrow, if not Friday, after some fine tuning. Um, but yeah, that was blessed text or stress with Kyle and I. And yeah, that was today's episode. Kyle, unless you got
Uh,
anything else, we can tell the people goodbye.
yeah, no, that's all I got. I'm excited for the game tomorrow. We will be potentially live streaming that game.
Yep.
Just
Oh no,
wanted to let
we'll be live streaming based, on my schedule. We're good to live stream. It's all really based on you to see what happens.
I'm good.
So all right, so then we're good to live
We're
stream
doing it.
Thursday night football tomorrow between the Bills and the Patriots. That's gonna be low key a good game. I think it's gonna be low key a good game. I talked about it during our I'm Rich Bitch segment, so we'll see
We'll
how it goes.
see.
But I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, we'll see if the Bills win by more than 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Little tiny competition.
So catch that live stream on Thursday Night Football tomorrow night. And if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday, later today. Other than that, Kyle, where can they follow you on Twitter?
You can find me at FTBL Only Podcast, and mostly retweets of Broncos Let's Cry, but I'm going to try to broaden my horizon. It's like everything's Broncos on my Twitter. Well, how long
Yeah.
did it take you to get out of that where like everything is
I
the Bears?
honestly, it really depends. I'll retweet stuff that really catches my eye outside of the Bears, outside of the Bulls, outside of Chicago sports. Really, I'll do my best to kind of like get into like the afternoon games after the Bears games. Usually, like do my best because there's some exciting stuff. And if you want to see that stuff, go to @andnowrick on Twitter, where you can see me tweet not only about the Bears but everything else that I'm trying to tweet about.
That was a good transition. That was
Yeah,
really
right, right.
I went on every NFL team and
Mhm.
I followed them. So you get a
There you
lot of
go.
information that way. And my goal is eventually people will be able to go to my Twitter account and they'll just hit tweets and then they
Mhm.
can go through and it's just all amazing news. Like I
See,
already filtered it out for you guys. Just follow
yeah,
me
just
and
follow Kyle.
yeah, it's pretty easy. Just
Other
hit a
than that,
button. I'll follow you
other
back.
than he'll fax you.
Oh,
Other than that,
wait, I do have to
oh,
say
go
one
ahead, go
funny
ahead.
thing. There was, I don't know if it's a fake Kanye West Twitter account, but it says like Ye, Y-E or something.
Yay,
And oh, yay.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry. I didn't know if that was him or not, or if it's
I
pronounced
love it.
different, but
I love it.
he said Elon Musk plans to ban porn from Twitter. And I commented on it. I said, there was porn on Twitter. And I got like a massive amount of likes and comments and like people started following me. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. Like I'm
That's hilarious.
trying to get football fans in and I don't know what crowd exactly I just like
Kyle,
took on.
Kyle was like Quagmire in that one episode of Family Guy when they told him about online porn, and he's like, "Wait, there's porn on the internet," and then they don't see him for like 2 months,
Oh
and he comes,
yeah, he's like inside the whole time.
yeah, he comes out of his house, and his left hand is just massively pumped out, like he looks like he's been working out for years. Like
Oh my
that's
god.
Kyle.
That is that is so relevant.
Kyle's
Wow.
like, "There's porn on Twitter." What? See, even my wife loves it.
That had
Oh,
to be shared with the world, sorry.
yeah, I
That
love
is
it. I
it.
love it. All right. Well, other than that, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook at Star Six Media. Also on Twitter, we have a Twitter account where it's not very active, but at _ Star Six Media. So that was the only one I couldn't get the actual Star Six Media on. But yeah, at _ Star Six Media on Twitter. Also, listen to the other podcasts here on Star Six Media. Listen to EAFP with Eric breaking down the World Cup. We're getting closer and closer to the final 16 teams. Go to JCA Sports to listen to basically national sports wide news, and then Big League Chicago covering all your Chicago sports with myself, Jack, and a lot of the other guys on there. Sports Drip Live for all your violent sports, wrestling, MMA, boxing. 3 Up 3 Down for your MLB fix, and Slot Shot hockey podcast for all your NHL stuff with Jack, Alex, and newcomer Ross. But yeah, all this stuff brought to you by Star Six Media. Kyle, always a pleasure, brother, and I will see you next time. I just realized now I didn't hit the intro video when we first started, so
It's all right.
yeah, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't hit the intro, but I won't forget to hit the outro.
I wasn't gonna bring it up on air, but I
Yeah,
guess I should have since
yeah, you
you're
should have
doing
been
it
like,
now.
dude, where's the intro? All right, boys. Boys
See
and
ya.
girls, thank you guys. And Kyle, see ya.